Hello, on the 10th of February 2024, this 34-year-old woman by name Thokozani Stacy Mklandla caught her husband and his mistress having sex in her matrimonial bedroom. She proceeded to stab her husband's mistress several times up to the extent she gave up the ghost. This all happened after she got a tip off from a neighbor while she was at all-night prayers in church. The neighbor had informed her that while she is doing all-night prayers in church, her husband had brought a mistress around 11:30 p.m. at night on the 10th of February 2024 to have sex with. She immediately dashed off from the church and immediately came home around 12 p.m. at night, caught her husband with the mistress having sex in her matrimonial bedroom. This all happened at Ngwerumkoba village in Zimbabwe. So guys, stay with me as I unveil true details about this true crime story. What really transpired while she caught her husband and her husband's mistress having sex together in her matrimonial bedroom. Did her husband hit her, or did the mistress insult her? That caused her to go inside her kitchen, get a knife, and stab the mistress several times up to the extent the mistress gave up the ghost. Now guys, without further ado, if you're new here, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Please subscribe so that we can get up to 1,000 subscriptions. And do not forget to like, by that this video can go viral. And also do not forget to share with your family members and friends to create awareness about this true crime story. Now guys, without further ado, let us get into this true crime story. 34-year-old Thokozani Stacy Mklandla and her husband Tafadza Monyoro has been married for close to 7 years. And during the 7 years of marriage, her husband kept on cheating on her, and she was such a God-fearing woman who would always go to church to pray. It was said that each time she goes to church to pray at night, her husband would sneak in with a mistress and have sex with a mistress in her matrimonial bed. And this who got her pissed off because the neighbors always tell her later that this is what has been going on. According to the news report, she has been trying to advise her husband to stop such an act. It hurts her, but her husband would not listen. She even went as further as calling her in-laws and explained things to her in-laws that this is what her husband has been doing each time she goes to church to pray for all night, or each time she leaves the house and go for a family meeting somewhere else. Her husband will bring mistresses inside the house and have sex with these mistresses. But her in-laws, that is her husband's mother and father, advised their son to give up having a mistress, but their son gave up deaf ears. At times, Thokozani will confront her husband on his cheating scandals, and her husband in turn gets so pissed off and beat her brutally, up to the extent she will be hospitalized in the hospital. So she has been keeping grudges on her husband cheating on her with these mistresses. And at times she'll meet some of the mistresses and talk to them, but they'll give her deaf ears. They don't care. Some of them will even tell her that they will go on having sex with her husband, in as far as her husband is the one, demanding their presence in his life. So there was this particular mistress which her husband liked, whose name was Nancy Fury. On several occasions, her husband has sneaked in Nancy Fury while she went out in church to pray for all night, and had sex with Nancy Fury. And when she would come back from all night around 5 a.m. in the morning, her neighbors would tell her that while you were praying in church, your husband sneaked in a girlfriend by name Nancy Fury and had sex with the girlfriend. And later on went and saw her off around 2 a.m. in the morning. So she went ahead and confronted Nancy Fury and told her to stop having a sexual relationship with her husband because children are involved in this marriage. And it is not a good look for her children to experience their father bringing in a mistress while they are asleep in the house, getting the mistress screaming all the time while their father is having sex with his mistress. But Nancy Fury instead insulted her that if her husband demands her presence, she will keep on having sex with her husband. So it was on the 10th of February 2024 when she had left for all night in church to pray for her adulterous husband so that he can in turn leave his adulterous ways and become so holy and faithful to his wife. While she was in church praying, one of her neighbors had called her around 11 p.m. at night that her husband had sneaked in Nancy Fury again to have sex with Nancy Fury in her matrimonial bedroom. So she immediately left the church and arrived at the house around 11:30 p.m. Her husband brought in Nancy Fury while her 2 children were already asleep in their room. So her husband sneaked in the mistress and was having sex with the mistress. And immediately she came home around 11:30 p.m. at night, entered straight inside the matrimonial bedroom, saw her husband with his mistress having sex in the bedroom naked. When she confronted her husband on the embarrassment and the disgrace, her husband decided to hit her. She went to the kitchen and brought a knife to stab the mistress, but her husband seized the knife from her hand. And while her husband seized the knife, went out to go put the knife in the kitchen, she immediately ran out into the kitchen again and got another knife and immediately quickly stabbed the mistress several times. And her husband succeeded to pull the bloody knife out of her hands, but the mistress was already stabbed badly up to the extent which the mistress tried to run out of the house, but fell in front of the house. And that was it. She started bleeding profoundly and died. This is the dead body of the mistress, guys, in the streets. So her husband immediately called the police, and the police came and arrested Thokozani Stacy Mkandla. And she went further to explain her entire ordeal, her relationship with her husband and her husband cheating scandal, how her husband would bring mistresses in her matrimonial bedroom and have sex with them. Even when she confronts the mistresses and tells them that they should stop, but most of them will give her deaf ears and instead insult her. At times she'll talk to her husband to stop such an act. It's not a good, healthy act because they've got 2 children together. Her husband will ended up beating her. She said she killed this woman out of anger, out of grudge, because she had been telling this woman to stop having sex with her husband. But this woman will give deaf ears, will not reason with her. So guys, what do you all think? I'd like to get your thoughts down at the comment section. This case is a very tricky criminal case. Now, I'll tell you something, this mistress by name Nancy Fury, I think she deserved what she got, because this woman had confronted her, warned her several times that do not come into my matrimonial home and have sex with my husband. She gave deaf ears and instead insulted, Thokozani Mkandla. So this is all a situation of a built-up anger of Thokozani Mkandla confronting her husband on his cheating scandals. Then her husband in turn beat her. Then her husband in turn will hit her. So this is all a build-up of anger upon anger of her husband cheating on her. So in this case, I don't think she'll be put in prison. She cannot go to prison because the law recognizes anger. Yes, this is some sort of anger which she will benefit from diminished, responsibility or total irresponsibility of the crime which she had committed. Because if you were the one, you came back home and found your husband having sex with another woman in your matrimonial bedroom, you're already angry. You cannot control your emotions when you see that in your matrimonial bedroom. So you can act out of force majeure, that is anger leading you to kill this person. And the law recognizes anger in such situations, because it's not a premeditated situation where you came, you took a knife already coming to kill this woman. You came and you saw the woman, you tried talking to the woman, but the woman reacted in a bad way and your husband hit you, then you rush to take a knife too. At that point in time, you are not in your right senses. Do I support the fact that she killed this woman? No, I do not support that. It is wrong for her to kill, someone because of her husband's, bad behaviors of cheating on her. She has stained her hands with blood. However, it's still not her fault because it's of her husband. Her husband wouldn't have brought his mistresses in her matrimonial bedroom to have sex with them on her matrimonial bedroom. It is so wrong. So in this case, guys, she will benefit from diminished irresponsibility or total irresponsibility. She will not be responsible for the crime which she committed because she came inside her matrimonial room, saw her husband having sex with another woman. She was immediately distraught out of anger. She cannot control her emotions. So this is not a case of premeditation. This is a case of anger taking control of someone when you see such a thing and you went ahead and killed that person out of anger. So she will not be given life imprisonment. But however, Nancy Stacy is the cause of her own death. You dare not commit adultery with a married man in his own matrimonial house, in his matrimonial bedroom where he sleeps with his wife. It is so wrong. So she is the cause of her own death. The mistress is the cause of her own death. Then the man too is the cause of everything. You should act responsible. If you feel you don't have sexual urge towards your wife, look for a mistress. It is wrong for you to look for a mistress. Yes, I'm not going to support adultery, but at least do it with a mistress somewhere in a motel or in a hotel. You have sex with her there, not in your matrimonial bedroom. So I believe if there is a way the courts, can recognize adultery, punish this man, because adultery is punishable in Cameroon by 3 to 5 years imprisonment. I don't know in Zimbabwe if adultery is punishable. This man has to pay fine, to his wife, because they can't send the man to prison because he is a breadwinner of his family. According to Cameroonian law, so this man has to pay a fine to his wife. That is what the law says. But if the mistress was still alive and the woman managed to report the matter to the police and it went to court, the mistress would have been given 3 to 5 years imprisonment for trying to destroy, a matrimonial home grounded on the legal marriage certificate honored by the law. So she'll be given 3 to 5 years imprisonment for trying to destroy, a family, which this family has been recognized. The marriage of the husband and wife has been recognized under the law. She'll be given 3 years to 5 years imprisonment. I don't know if this is punishable. Adultery is punishable in Zimbabwe or in the Southern African nations. So this is my take on this, guys. I'd like to get your thoughts down at the comment section of what you think about this true crime story. Thank you for listening.